Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, or Shang-Chi. This is the main character of the movie, named after him. This is Shang-Chi, but again, if you go by how Kevin Feige pronounced it, the Disney investor call, he said Shang-Chi, and I would think of all people, Kevin Feige would say it correctly on a Disney investor's call. But rumor has it the trailer will be dropping tomorrow morning, but by the time you're seeing this video, maybe today or already have dropped. Who knows if the trailer is even going to come. Maybe that's why this wave was street dated for 4/25, knowing that the trailer would drop around that time, so then the figures could release. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we shall see. But anyway, I was lucky enough to get my hands on the rest of the wave so I can finish it off and then get to the entire wave and review Mr. Hyde for you. But here we have Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, however you want to say it. He comes with two sets of additional interchangeable hands. He has one weapon piece and he comes with one of the legs for the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. We get the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings logo there in the front. Side artwork of the actor looking pretty good. It is based on actual promo work, so it's not like actual images from the movie or anything like that. Here we have the entire wave and the Build-A-Figure of the Mr. Hyde. So we are on Shang-Chi, but I did not go in order, but he is the last of the movie figures, so then I'll have Civil Warrior and Iron Man, their Tony Stark AI to review. But anyway, the Shang-Chi bio reads, trained since childhood by the mysterious Ten Rings organization, Shang-Chi must confront the past he thought he left behind when he is drawn back into his father's web. Ooh, interesting. So let's get this thing opened up because I am actually really liking it, and if it's going to be anything like the Xialing figure, I think it's going to be a nice one to pose around and stuff compared to the other two. So here we go. Okay, so here's the Shang-Chi figure out of the package, and he is a really fun one. There's some nice things that they did with this figure that they did not do with the Wenwu figure and the Death Dealer figure. Something that I saw a few people actually suggest that Hasbro could have done. They actually did it with this figure, and that's give him the waist articulation. Even though his tunic actually goes below his waist, they added in the waist articulation, so that is pretty cool, the waist swivel. So first, let's get this out of the way. We have here the left leg to the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure, so we will throw that off into the pile over there. Looking at the Shang-Chi figure, he comes with this weapon. So here we have the stick. If you guys know what the official term of this is, you guys can let me know down in the comments below. But it looks pretty good. We just get these brown ends for the handles. We get this little sculpted part right there of that comes hanging down. The actual pole itself is a weird one to describe. It's got like a greenish hue to it, which is a little bit odd. So it's not a silver paint. It's not really a gray paint. I guess it's gray plastic, but the green hue is really throwing me off. I'm not sure how well that's coming off on camera, but it's definitely different. Out of the package, the two hands that he has are these open holding hands, so he can actually hold his weapon there. And then we get two interchangeable hands. So we have here these open karate hands with his fingers kind of separated out. And then the other interchangeable hand, and these are completely new. We haven't seen anything like this before. Is here we have these karate hands where you can see his index finger and his thumb are together. So very different. Again, cool that we're seeing these new hands that we haven't seen before. So I like that. So now let's see Shang-Chi. Okay, so looking at the detail of the suit, one thing, and I didn't really notice this in looking at it more and more, is the dark red here on his chest. That is actually a different color. What I was thinking is that it just kind of looked a little bit off compared to the rest because of the black lines and maybe kind of it washed out. But that is actually a different color. You can actually see it, like especially here on the shoulder where you see the darker red into the lighter color red. There, so it is a nice touch, and kind of like the Xialing figure, we kind of get all those line marks throughout. It's a little bit more intricate on hers than it is on Shang-Chi, but we see a little bit of it, and that looks really good. Looking at the back, we get some sculpted details, but not actually any of the line work, I guess. We do get some on his arms there, and the texture is done quite nicely, and you can see the cut there because they actually did a waist swivel on this guy instead of having the long tunic like Xialing, for instance. But looks really good. We've got the sleeves up there. We have pinless knees. Check out the chucks. Look at that. They're not really chucks, but they kind of resemble chucks. We get the white soles, all black shoes, and that looks pretty good. So overall, I am very happy with the look of this guy. But now, let's zoom out and take a look at his articulation. And I think you guys will be happy with it. Okay, so Shang-Chi, he can look down only that much. I guess that's kind of lacking a little bit when the head's on a dumbbell joint. There, you get all kinds of great circular motion because the neck is like that. Full swivel, of course. The arms you can get to go out straight out. Doesn't really go any higher than that. Full rotation, of course. You have an upper bicep swivel. You get double jointed elbows, like so. One thing that I will comment on is why the hell did they give this guy the black pins on that upper elbow portion when, I mean, I get that there's black line there, but you could have done red and red and would have looked a lot better. So come on, Hasbro, what's up with that? If you couldn't do pinless, you should have made the better decision. Red pins to match. It would have been better on this side if it was a red pin instead of black. But anyway, wrists swivel and they do hinge. We have an ab crunch that works really well. It crunches that far, but it does look kind of funky in the back. Going back, he goes back really, really far, which is crazy. We do have that waist swivel in there, which is nice. Legs go out that far apart. So this tunic piece there is this, it's not super soft, but it's also not a hard rubber, so you can get the legs to really go out to the sides. He can't kick forward that high, which is great. You have an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee, which is actually a really, really ugly looking knee joint, as you can see there, because kind of the bagginess of the pants and the design. That's how they went with it. But it is pinless, so I guess that's cool there. There is no boot swivel or calf swivel or anything like that, but the foot hinges down like so. You get a little bit of hinge up, not a whole lot. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So I think you guys should be happy with that articulation. One thing that I did, earlier is you can actually get him to go down crazy far, depending on how you would get his legs to kind of stand. But he can crunch down pretty darn far, I guess, depending on, how you can get him to balance. But, yeah, I mean, just standing there, you can get him to crunch down pretty far. So really good movement for this guy. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that I was able to get him to balance on one foot, and you can see how high up he would actually be able to kick. So it's nice to be able to do some things like that. Of course, you got to spend a little bit of time balancing. I didn't spend a whole lot of time, but you kind of have to make sure that you're kind of evening out the weight. So I'm sure you guys could pull off some really cool things if you're into figure photography, that type of thing. But for me, this is about as best as I could do with anything like that. So I just wanted to show you guys. So he can do kind of a high kick on one foot. Okay, so for a quick side-by-side comparison, we have the MCU movie version of Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi next to the comic version there. Now, I know a lot of folks are probably going to ask, can you do hand swaps and that kind of thing? Since I believe that Shang-Chi figure, I forget how many hands that he came with, but he had different, he had a few different hands. So we have like here the straight-out kind of karate chop hand. Let's see if that can port in there, and yes, it can, but I think it does look a little bit big. Skin tone wise, it's a pretty close match. I think it could really work, but again, it looks kind of big, but you could use some of those hands. You do have a little bit of gap right there at the wrist, but it could work. Okay, so a little bit of a family reunion. We have Father Wenwu here, leader of the Ten Rings, aka the Mandarin, as he was first announced. We have Shang-Chi and we have Xialing, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, or Shang-Chi. So who knows if the trailer drops. Hopefully by the time you guys are watching this, the trailer is already out. If rumors hold up to be true, we don't know if it's going to be coming or not. I am excited for when it does come, so we shall see. But there we have the family together. Now let's throw in Death Dealer into the mix. Okay, so here with Death Dealer added to it, we have all of the movie figures from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We have Death Dealer, Xialing, Shang-Chi, and Wenwu, or aka the Mandarin. Again, we don't have the context of anything to this movie because at the time of this recording, there has not yet been a trailer. All we know is that the movie has been delayed again until September. So there we have it. But I like movie figures. It's kind of my thing. I love the MCU. So these figures I love. Death Dealer I thought was going to be my favorite of the four movie figures. He's quickly gone down into being my least favorite of the four, which I'm very surprised with. I think the design was very interesting, but the use of almost the entire Ant-Man figure and then the extreme lack of range of motion in the articulation, the hindrance of his robe, it really drops him down. Wenwu is probably going to be my favorite aesthetically. Shang-Chi has the best movement, and Xialing does look really good. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4 from. So we're reading, I guess, ranking right, my right to left there. So there you have it. You guys can let me know down in the comments below, out of the 4, which is your favorite and how would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. I'm only showing this particular clip because I had this really awesome thing where Shang-Chi was balancing on that pole and kicking Death Dealer in the face. And you unfortunately cannot see it on video. I will have a picture of it. I was able to get a picture, but I could not get any video of how cool it looked. And I am not going to try it again because it took me forever to balance. But it was really cool looking. So I'm going to post it on Instagram, and hopefully I'll kind of have it overlay here so you guys could see how it looked, because it looked awesome. Or at least I thought it looked awesome. Given my skill set and what I'm capable of doing, it was awesome. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Shang-Chi figure. I really like it. It's a step up. We don't get the hindrance of articulation range because of his tunic, his costume, or anything like that. Death Dealer really suffers from that. Wenwu also not as much as Death Dealer, but he definitely suffers from it. I think he's the second best of the 4 MCU Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Ring movie figures. Xialing really impressed me. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. Wenwu, I think, has the most interesting costume design. And Death Dealer just left me disappointed, where Shang-Chi really kind of stepped up, and it's way better than I thought it would be. Actually having it in hand now, I am very pleased with it. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of the movie figure so far. If the trailer's dropped by this time and you watched it, you guys let me know what you think of the trailer. Are you excited for the movie? I know I am, so I can't wait. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.